Good morning, good morning. Hello, can you hear me? How's that? Are you happy? Well, a very good morning to you once again, Elvis, live from the Sefako Makgatho Presidential Guest House here in Pretoria, where you said, of course, President Jacob Zuma will bestow the 2016 national orders on South Africans and foreign nationals who've made an immense contribution towards South Africa attaining its democracy, and of course those who've made a significant contribution and played a crucial role in the upliftment of various communities in this country. As you can see here towards my right, the choir is already belting out a few notes. We're expecting President Jacob Zuma to arrive here any moment now to bestow these national orders on these distinguished guests. But also we were expecting one of the recipients, Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela, to be here this morning, but we do understand that she will not be here. Of course, you would recall that she had just undergone back surgery. I understand that she's still recovering at home and will not make it here today to be bestowed this order here this morning. But some of her relatives are here this morning. We saw some of the great-grandchildren, including Zoleka Mandela as well as Zondwa Mandela as well, accompanied by other members of the family who will receive this order on her behalf. But when asked how Mama Winnie Mandela is doing, they said that she's doing fine. She's recovering well at home, but unfortunately could not be here. But of course, some of the other prominent guests who were expected to be honored here today, of course, the late Zwelakhe Sisulu, who was once the chief executive officer of the SABC. You would recall that he was one of the first black editors in this country, but during very difficult times, penning the atrocities of the apartheid government in the newspapers. You would recall he was once the president of the Writers Association in South Africa during very difficult times. Of course, that excellent contribution to journalism will be honored here this morning as well. Of course, the late Sam Ntuli as well, you would recall, during very dark days as well in Thokoza, where the people there had also rebelled against the apartheid brutal regime of the police then, and he will also be honored here today. At the time, you would of course recall, back in 1991, gunned down in a politically motivated assassination, and of course that also will be celebrated here this morning. Of course, Mac Maharaj, of course, will also be honored here this morning. Of course, you'd recall he was also very instrumental in the fight for democracy in this country, and of course a former presidential spokesperson as well will be honored here this morning. But we're expecting some of the distinguished guests to come through here to this hall here this morning, where President Jacob Zuma, of course, will honor them. But it's from various spectra. Just to mention there, Elvis, we're talking about those who will be honored in music and sport, in journalism, and for those who've made immense contributions both here on South African soil and internationally to ensure that South Africans eventually achieved freedom. One of those individuals, of course, but who will not be present as well here this morning is the Chilean President Michelle Bachelet Geria, who on a global stage, of course, in the interest of justice in South Africa, also fought abroad to ensure that South Africa achieved the democracy that we now will enjoy. Of course, we saw lots of those scenes there yesterday, thousands of people coming out to celebrate and to remember 22 years, how far South Africa has come in as far as the difficult times that we had in this country and all the freedoms that we now get to enjoy. We're expecting this program to get underway any minute now. So South Africans and foreign nationals who've played such a pivotal role to ensure that South Africa is the beautiful country that we see here today will be honored. We're expecting these seats to be taken in just the next few minutes, but of course the choir is certainly keeping us entertained and we're waiting for that broadcast to get underway. Of course, it will be live here on the SABC's DSTV channel 404, so you can certainly stay tuned for that. He's not arrived at this stage yet, Elvis. I'm just looking around to see if there's any other dignitaries who are walking into this hall at the moment, but we're expecting the program to get underway very, very shortly. But we're expecting the president to highlight, that South Africa's freedom truly wasn't free. We heard those sentiments from him at a very packed stadium in Guyana yesterday, where we saw the celebrations of the 22 years of democracy that were being celebrated. We're expecting him to reiterate again that all those who will be honored here this morning with the national orders played such a critical role, both locally and internationally, to ensure that South Africa is truly free. A South Africa for all, for equality for all in South Africa as well. We're expecting the very same sentiments to be shared by the president here this morning. Thanks, guys.
le motho ya ntoboketsa
Skangwana maitaliwe, skangwana maisitiwe, skangwana maitaliwe, skangwana maisitiwe.
Temwelemwe inalinako yoyona
Temwelemwe inalinako,
Temwelemwe inalinako yoyona
temwelemwe inalinako, temwelemwe inalinako, temwelemwe inalinako, temwelemwe inalinako, temwelemwe inalinako. Tanako aulisio.
Una le motho ya ntshwara teke Una le motho ya ntoboketsa
Tanako aulisio.
Una le motho ya ntshwara teke Una le motho ya ntoboketsa
Skangwana maitaliwe, skangwana maisitiwe, skangwana maitaliwe, skangwana maisitiwe.
Temwelemwe inalinako yoyona
Temwelemwe inalinako,
Temwelemwe inalinako yoyona
temwelemwe inalinako, temwelemwe inalinako, temwelemwe inalinako, temwelemwe inalinako, temwelemwe inalinako.
Illa kai kai kau di mutabe Illa kai
Kau di mutabe,
Illa kai kai
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
kau di mutabe, kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
kau di mutabe,
Yanatse
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
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 kau di mutabe,
Yanatse
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
kau di mutabe,
Yanatse
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
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 kau di mutabe,
Yanatse
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
kau di mutabe,
Yanatse
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
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 kau di mutabe,
Yanatse
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
kau di mutabe,
Yanatse
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
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 kau di mutabe,
Yanatse
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
kau di mutabe,
Yanatse
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
kau di mutabe,
Illa kai
kau di mutabe.
Thank you to our military band and the Air Force Choir here. We are still going to have you with us. We're always happy to be with you in this very important occasion. Just one announcement, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. There will not be time for interval once the program starts. So if would want to perhaps get out for a few seconds and do something, we should know that as we are about to start, when the president enters, we won't have any time for interval. Thank you very much. Let's continue enjoying the music. Thank you.
etani, bomme bakai kami dudu 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 etani, bomme bakai kami tobona, bomme bakai kami dudu etani, bomme kami tobona, bomme bakai kami dudu etani, bomme etani kimi dudu etani, mi dudu etani kimi dudu etani, mi dudu etani kimi dudu etani, mi dudu etani kimi dudu etani, bomme kami tobona, bomme bakai kami dudu etani, bomme kami tobona, bomme bakai kami dudu etani, mi dudu etani kimi 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 dudu etani, bomme bakai kami 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 dudu etani, mi dudu etani kimi 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 dudu etani, bomme etani kimi dudu etani, mi dudu etani kimi dudu etani, mi dudu etani kimi dudu etani, mi dudu etani kimi dudu etani, bomme bakai kami 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 dudu etani. Uyabizwa wena Sabela 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 Uyabizwa wena Sabela 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 Uyabizwa wena Sabela
uyabizwa wena uyabizwa wena uyabizwa wena uyabizwa wena
Mtaki, please can you brief the studio about how we are doing this? Okay, great. Yes. Can I move? Can I get out? Yo, guys, what's going on? Hello. Mtaki. Hello. Yes. Listen. Yo, this woman is screaming in my ear, but Pamudim. Yes, I'm ready, my darling. Just go on the visuals. We will keep talking. Because where we are standing right now, they are putting chairs. Okay. Okay, and then I will get out of the shot. I can. Thank you. Guys, it's very distorted. I don't know if you can hear the same thing that I'm hearing. Okay, guys, are we anywhere near on air? Because I'm hearing too many things in my ear. In the van, can you hear me? Because these... Okay, in the studio where I'm hearing too many things in the studio. If I can hear the program, that will be great. Okay. Mtaki, please let me know when I can get out of shot, okay? Taki, did you get that? Thank you. Yes. Okay, sure. Okay, great stuff. If you can please give me that. Slightly, it's now going. Guys, they're about to start. They're about to start. We've stood up. We're about to start. We're starting now. Well, welcome back to the Sefako Makgatho Presidential Guest House here in Pretoria, where proceedings are about to get underway at the moment. We're expecting President Jacob Zuma to walk in any moment now. There you have it, President Jacob Zuma. 2016 national orders on South Africans and foreign nationals who have made a significant contribution to the democracy that South Africa now enjoys. as well as those who've made a contribution to the upliftment of various communities in South Africa. Those who will be honored here today have excelled in various spheres, including ensuring
Thank you. We may be seated. The President of the Republic of South Africa, the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, ministers and deputy ministers here present, the chairperson and members of the Advisory Council of the National Orders, distinguished nominees of our national orders, representatives of nominees who are not with us, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor to welcome all of you to this 2016 National Orders investiture ceremony today. We wish to single out our international guests for special welcome. We are truly pleased to share this important occasion with all of you. Allow me to respectfully invite the Grand Patron of the National Orders, His Excellency,
She's a businesswoman, she's a philanthropist.
with the ceremony. Thank you.
Director of the program, I was almost half protesting. I can't see the people here. These sons of yours that are there are too bright. But I was afraid to complain because you must be knowing the reasons why. I can't even see people in front of me. But protocols is protocol. They are the last dictators remaining in the world. The Deputy President of the Republic, Cyril Ramaphosa, and Dr. Motsepe, ministers and premiers, deputy ministers, members of parliament, the chairperson of the National Orders Advisory Council, Ms. Bridget Mabandla, and all council members, leadership of various sectors, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished recipients of the national orders, and members of their families and friends, fellow South Africans and friends. We have gathered to honor men and women from this country and abroad who have demonstrated exceptional service in humanity. The national orders are the highest honor that our country bestows on citizens and foreign nationals. We confer the Order of Mendi, the Order of Ikamanga, the Order of the Baobab, the Order of Lutuli, the Order of Mapungubwe, and the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo, to distinguished persons who have demonstrated that it takes ordinary men and women to make our country and the world a better place. The ceremony takes place just after Freedom Day, on which South Africans closed the chapter on institutionalized racism and repression and began a journey towards a united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic, and prosperous South Africa. The recipients of the national orders have each contributed in some way to the attainment of this goal. We reiterate that South Africa is a much better place to live in now than it was before 1994. We thank all South Africans, as well as our friends from all over Africa and the world, for their contribution to making our country the success that it has been since 1994. Compatriots and friends, the Order of Mendi is awarded to any South African who has performed extraordinarily acts of bravery anywhere in the world, who put their lives in danger or ultimately lost it in trying to save the lives of others. Today, we confer the order in silver to 10 stalwarts of the liberation struggle and freedom fighters. Among these are included 4 members of the legendary 1967 Lutuli detachment, Messrs. Hermanus Luertz of Herzog in the Eastern Cape, popularly known as Stuart. Ulysses Modise from Kimberley, Joseph Nduli of Mayakulu in KwaZulu-Natal, all posthumously. It is also awarded to Mr. Ndaliso Ngaiya from the erstwhile Prospect Township for his contribution to the struggle for liberation. The Luthuli detachment, named after ANC President General Chief Albert Luthuli, was a joint operation by the ANC guerrillas and the Zimbabwean African People's Union, ZAPU, dispatched on the 31st July 1967 to infiltrate South Africa from Zambia through Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe. The award in the same category also goes posthumously to Mr. Makashu Leonard Mtingi, an ANC member, SA Communist Party, and South African Congress of Trade Unions, and Umkhonto Wesizwe operative, who was one of the leaders of the heroic Pondo Revolt. The order also goes to Dr. Sizakele Siklashe posthumously, a freedom fighter who was also an academic and a Communist Party member in the leadership of the Communist Party, as well as a renowned ANC intelligence officer. He was the first Director General of our intelligence agency after 1994. He's awarded for his selfless contribution to the liberation struggle, serving the movement exceptionally well in various places such as Tanzania and Angola, and in the public service, as I've said earlier, the first Director General of the National Intelligence Agency at the dawn of freedom. Major General Peter Lisejo Chikare receives the order posthumously for his distinguished service to the freedom struggle, serving the ANC in Tanzania, Zambia, Egypt, and in Angola, and also as an intelligence officer responsible for South Africa, Botswana, Swaziland, and Lesotho. He served as Major General in military intelligence in the South African National Defence Force until January 1998. A brave and committed freedom fighter and soldier, General Jacqueline, popularly known as Jackie Sedibe, of White River in Mpumalanga, also receives this award. She joined the ANC at the age of 17 and was one of the earliest female recruits to Umkhonto Wesizwe. She served the nation exceptionally well during the struggle, and also in the South African National Defence Force in the democratic era. Mr. Peter Sillo Mutaung, an MK operative and commander who worked closely with Joe Slovo in the Regional Military Committee responsible for the Mozambique and Swaziland front into South Africa, is also honored posthumously. Mr. Mutau and his comrade, Mr. Cassius Make, were tragically assassinated in Swaziland in an ambush by South African agents. Compatriots, Mr. Sam Tuli paid with his life after working tirelessly to promote peace in Thokoza in the East Rand. Horrific state-sponsored violence raged in our communities during the 1980s and 1990s. He receives this award posthumously for his commitment to peace and courage in the face of extreme danger. Esteemed guests, the Order of Ikamanga is conferred to South African citizens who have excelled in arts, culture, literature, music, journalism, and sports. We confer it in gold posthumously to Dr. Benedict Wallet Vilakazi, known commonly as B.W. Vilakazi, one of the pioneers in early contributors to isiZulu literature and the preservation of isiZulu. He wrote enlightening novels, among them the seminal Nje Nempela, as well as poetry anthologies, thus inspiring subsequent generation of writers. Miss Laurika Roch receives the Ikamanga for revoltly using her music to speak out against the wrongs of apartheid. A prolific and award-winning Xitsonga musician, Mr. Thomas Hassani Chauke, receives the Ikamanga for his pioneering role in the development of Xitsonga music. Ms. Sylvia Magogo Glassa receives the order for her role of teaching dance to black and white learners together in her home in Johannesburg during the difficult apartheid years, which enforced separation, and for fundraising for their career development. Dr. Margarete Poland receives this order for excellent contribution to the field of indigenous languages, literature, and anthropology, including isiZulu folklore, with 5 novels to her name. Esteemed guests, the Order of the Baobab is awarded to South African citizens for distinguished service in the fields of business, the economy, science, medicine, and for technological innovation and community service. We award the Order of the Baobab to Professor Rosina Pakane, the Vice Principal for Research and Innovation at the University of South Africa. She receives the award for her excellent contribution in the field of science and for putting South Africa on a global map through her outstanding research work. The Order of the Baobab also goes to Professor Helen Rees, the founder and executive director of the Reproductive Health and HIV Institute of the University of Witwatersrand. She receives the order for championing public health care, especially child and maternal health, and for her outstanding contribution to the fight against HIV and AIDS. The Order of the Baobab is also awarded posthumously to the highly regarded pioneer in business and community leader, Miss Marina Nompinti Maponya. She joined her husband, Mr. Richard Maponya, to establish a strong business empire and proved that Black people were capable of running successful businesses in the face of apartheid repression. Compatriots and friends, we confer the Order of Luthuli to South Africans who have made a meaningful contribution in any of the following areas: the struggle for freedom, democracy, human rights, nation building, justice, peace, and conflict resolution. We bestow to the late Mr. Suleiman Saluji of the Eastern Transvaal, currently now known as Mpumalanga, and a member of the renowned Transvaal Indian Congress. He was one of the key participants in the Defiance Campaign of 1952 and was killed tragically by apartheid forces in 1964. The devout human rights and anti-apartheid activist in the Cape Peninsula, Mr. Brian Francis Bishop, receives the Order of Luthuli posthumously in silver for fighting apartheid tyranny through human rights activism and opposition to Group Areas Act's forced removals. A theologian, academic, and anti-apartheid activist, and member of the United Democratic Front, the Reverend Dr. Simon Kobule receives the order as well for his contribution to the struggle for freedom and the promotion of human rights. The award also goes to a struggle veteran who served a long prison term in Robben Island, many years of service in exile and in underground operations in the country, Mr. Mac Maharaj. He has also served in the post-apartheid government as minister and also as presidential advisor in the 4th and 5th administrations until his retirement in 2015. The order is also conferred on a courageous woman who became a symbol of the struggle against apartheid, Miss Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Miss Mandela endured periods of prison detention and banning orders by the apartheid government from 1958 and through subsequent years. This included a 9-year banishment period in Brandfort, in the Free State. She was not deterred by the persecutions. She became a formidable force facing the enemy head-on in the pursuit of freedom. Our people salute her. She is currently unwell, and we wish her a speedy recovery. The Order of Luthuli also goes to Miss Mary Tipe from Matatiele, the former vice chairperson of the ANC Women's League, who worked tirelessly to advance the struggle for freedom during the 1950s. She participated in various campaigns, including taking part in the famous potato boycotts in Bethal, Mpumalanga. Miss Ami Riatsien Thornton of Cape Town receives the order for her devotion to the struggle against apartheid. This freedom fighter joined the South African Communist Party in the 1940s, served the ANC from the 1950s, and served in the support committee for the treason trial in 1956, and was later active as a member of the United Democratic Front. Accomplished trade unionist, Mr. John Zikali receives the Order of Luthuli posthumously for his role in improving the conditions of workers as president of the Southern African Clothing and Textile Workers Union, including his role in fighting the importation of cheap goods, which threatened the jobs of textile workers. The Order of Luthuli is awarded in gold posthumously to Mr. Msizi Harrison Dube. Based in Lamontville in Durban, he engaged in various community struggles. He fought the introduction of the Bantu education curriculum in schools for equal pay, for equal work, and against rent increases using his famous slogan, "Asina mali, we have no money." Mr. Dube also became a leading force against the forced removals of black people by the Durban City Municipal from Ketomano to Guamashu, as well as against the advisory boards established by the apartheid government to control black townships until his assassination in 1983. Mr. Cleopas Madoda Tsibande receives the Order of Luthuli in gold posthumously for his exceptional contribution to the struggle as an ANC activist from the 1940s and a prominent trade unionist who was very vocal about better wages for the workers. He was a founder member of the South African Congress of Trade Unions and was also one of the key campaigners tasked to canvass views on the Freedom Charter countrywide. Mr. Ntsibande was also one of the 1956 treason trialists. Compatriots and friends, the Order of Mapungubwe is awarded to South African citizens for the achievements that have made an impact internationally and who have served the interests of the Republic of South Africa well. We confer this award in gold posthumously to an exceptional journalist and struggle veteran, Mr. Zwelakhe Sisulu, who used his craft to voice unrelenting protests against apartheid and exposed the evils of the system. In the process, he endured long periods of detention without trial in the mid-1980s. Esteemed guests, the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo is awarded to foreign dignitaries who actively promoted the freedom, justice, human rights, and democracy through active support and expression of solidarity for the struggle against apartheid colonialism. We award the Order of the Companion of O.R. Tambo in silver to Mr. Noureddin Joidi, a political commissar in the Algerian National Liberation Army, who helped former President Mandela in 1962 when he had left the country secretly to seek support for our armed struggle. This encounter heralded the warm relations between the Algerian government and the ANC, and now between the two governments and peoples. Miss Maria Petronella Adriana Kint receives the order for actively supporting the anti-apartheid movement in the Netherlands over many years and for her role in the underground Operation Vula activities in Johannesburg until 1994. At the dawn of freedom, she shifted focus to arts and culture, promoting relations between the Netherlands and South Africa. We have great pleasure to also award the Order of the Companion of O.R. Tambo to my dear colleague, Her Excellency, President Michelle Bachelet Jeria, the President of the Republic of Chile. The President receives the award in gold for her exceptional contribution to the fight for democracy and freedom in her country and globally. She has sent a special message apologizing for her inability to accept this award in person due to matters of state. Deputy President, distinguished guests, by the power vested in me in terms of Section 84 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, I now confer the Order of Mendi, the Order of Ikamanga, the Order of the Baobab, the Order of Luthuli, the Order of Mapungubwe, and the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo to the distinguished persons indicated. They shall henceforth be honored as esteemed members of the orders. We congratulate them all for this. Thank you very much indeed.
Ngamanda enda wesa one nga chipida cha vufumalo ina cha Republiki ya Afrika Chipembe. Changwa wa gidida tairati. Dinecheza chiara cha Mendi cha Buhari, chiara cha Ikamanga, chiara cha Mubuyu, chiara cha Luthuli, chiara cha Mapungubwe, na chiara cha Thama za O.R. Tambo. Vatanganedzi va do thonifiwa sa mirado ya dzi order. Vhathu va Afrika Chipembe va va bvulela mingadzi.
Eka matimba lawa ndzi nga havasherisiwa wona hi xiyenge xa 84 xa vumbiwa bya Riphabliki ra Afrika-Dzonga hi lembe ra 1999. Ndza nyika sweswi mfungho wa Mendi wa vunhenha, mfungho wa Ikamanga, mfungho wa Ximuwu, mfungho wa Luthuli, mfungho wa Mapungubwe na mfungho wa xinghana wa O.R. Tambo. Kusukela sweswi vaamukeri va ta fundziwa tanihi swirho swo hlonipheka swa mimfungo. Vanhu va Afrika-Dzonga va va hluvulela swigqoko hinkwavo.
Ka matla ao ke a filwego ke karolo ya 14 ya molaotheo wa Rephaboliki ya Afrika Borwa wa ngwaga wa 1996. Bjale ke abela sefoka sa Mendi sa Bogale, sefoka sa Ikamanga, sefoka sa Baobab, sefoka sa Luthuli, sefoka sa Mapungubwe le sefoka sa bagwera ba O.R. Tambo. Baamogedi go tloga moo ba tla hlomphiwa bjalo ka maloko a go hlomphega a difoka. Batho ba Afrika Borwa ba ba hlompha ka moka.
Ngamandla agunyazwe isigaba samashumi ayisishiyagalombili nesine somthethosisekelo waseNingizimu Afrika wonyaka wenkulungwane namakhulu ayisishiyagalolunye namashumi ayisishiyagalolunye nesithupha. Ngithwesa manje izimiselo zomklomelo wobuqhawe bemendi, izimiselo ze-Ikhamanga, izimiselo ze-Baobab, izimiselo zakaLuthuli, izimiselo zemaphungubwe kanye nezimiselo zabahlobo baka-OR Tambo. Laba abazothweswa lemiyezane kusukela manje bazohlonishwa kakhulu ngokuba bangamalungu aqavile ezindondo zesizwe. Abantu baseNingizimu Afrika banethulela isiqhoko.
Ngamagunya endiwanikiweyo phansi kwelicandelo lamashumi asibhozo anesine lomgaqo siseko weRiphabhlikhi yoMzantsi Afrika wamawaka alishumi elinesithoba amashumi alithoba anesithandathu. Ngoku ndinikezela imbasa yemendi yobukhalipha, imbasa ye-Ikhamanga, imbasa ye-Baobab, imbasa kaLuthuli, imbasa yemaphungubwe kunye nembasa yamahlakanye ka-OR Tambo. Abo bazafumana ukusukela ngoku baya kunikwa imbeko njengamalungu abekekileyo eembasa. Abantu baseMzantsi Afrika babothulela umnqwazi bonke.
Tlasa matla ao ke a fuweng ke karolo ya 24 ya molao wa motheo wa Rephaboliki ya Afrika Borwa wa selemo 1996. Ha jwale ke o rwesa kgao ya mendi bakeng sa ho bontsha sebete, kgao ya Ikhamanga, kgao ya Baobab, kgao ya Luthuli, kgao ya Mapungubwe le kgao ya dithaka tsa OR Tambo. Ho tloha ha jwale baamohedi ba tla hlomphuwa jwalo ka ditho tse hlomphehileng tsa dikgao tsena. Batho ba Afrika Borwa ba tla ba thoholetsa kaofela ha bona.
Ngemandla lenginiketwe wona ngaphasi kwesigaba se-84 semthetho sikelelo weRiphabhlikhi yaseNingizimu Afrika weminyaka yenkulungwane namakhulu layimfica nemashumi layimfica nesithupha. Manje ngithanda ukukwehlonipha ngemklomelo wemendi wobuqhawe, umklomelo weBaobab, umklomelo weLuthuli, umklomelo wemaphungubwe kanye nemklomelo webangani ba-OR Tambo. Labamukeli batawuhlonishwa njengemalunga lasemcoka etindondo tesifa. Bantu baseNingizimu Afrika babethulela sigcoko bonke.
Ngaphasi kwamandla enginikelwe wona wesigaba samachumi abunane somthetho sisekelo weRiphabhlikhi yeSewula Afrika yomnyaka wekulungwana namakhulu asithoba nesithandathu. Gadesi nginikela ngonongorwana wobukutani wemendi, unongorwana we-Ikhamanga, unongorwana we-Baobab, unongorwana weLuthuli, unongorwana wemaphungubwe kunye nonongorwana wabalingani baka-OR Tambo. Abamukeli kusukela gadesi baza kuhlonitshwa njengamalunga ahloniphekileko wabonongorwana bokuhlonitshwa. Isitshaba seSewula Afrika sinethulela ingwani noke.
Ka ngeti ka singwa khanu ya 84 kemtsaka ke tsukoya kingoing asike wa South Africa. Khau ya gana ke ka 96 en negenta angri ke a ko ka mendi ke angri ke a ko ka Ikhamanga ke angri a ko ka Baobab. A ko ngui ke a Luthuli ta ko ngui ke a Makabukwe. Ako kausing e kukia talising kia OR Tambo noge esken hui e asing e akwa kongolising ta Afrika wati trawise e gea ta Afrika enchi kauka e musege mga.
ugegegisa ikawe lomzansi sigiyela uJacob Zuma sigiyela utata wethu sigiyela ugegegisa ikawe lomzansi Allahom siyabhiyoza Allahom siyabulela siyabonga siyabulela ngemisebenzi yakhe Allahom siyabhiyoza Allahom siyabulela siyabonga siyabulela ngemisebenzi yakhe sigiyela uJacob Zuma sigiyela utata wethu sigiyela ugegegisa ikawe lomzansi sigiyela uJacob Zuma sigiyela utata wethu sigiyela ugegegisa ikawe lomzansi Allahom siyabhiyoza Allahom siyabulela siyabonga siyabulela ngemisebenzi yakhe Allahom siyabhiyoza Allahom siyabulela siyabonga siyabulela ngemisebenzi yakhe sigiyela uJacob Zuma sigiyela utata wethu sigiyela ugegegisa ikawe lomzansi
Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, fellow South Africans, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now bestow the Order of Mendi for bravery. Thank you.
Mr. Hermanus Gabriel Lutz. The Order of Mendi for bravery in silver is awarded to Mr. Hermanus Gabriel Lutz, also known as James Stewart, posthumous, for his gallant fight against the oppression of the majority of South Africans during the hard times of apartheid injustice. He spoke truth to power without fear or favor. Mr. Leonard Mtingi, represented by Mr. Womba Mtingi. The Order of Mendi for bravery in silver is awarded to Mr. Makashu Leonard Mtingi for his excellent contribution to the liberation struggle and his steadfast belief in the equality of all who lived in South Africa, His conviction spurred him to distant lands to enlist with the anti-apartheid organizations and push back against the tyranny of racism. Ulysses Modise, represented by Ms. Tsulu Modise. The Order of Mendi for Bravery in Silver is awarded to Mr. Ulysses Modise posthumous for his excellent contribution to the struggle for the liberation of the people of South Africa. He selflessly left his loved ones for exile, where he devoted his military skills to fight against the apartheid regime. Mr. Peter Sello Mutau, also known as Paul Dikeledi, represented by Mrs. Carla Mutau. The Order of Mendi for Bravery in Silver is awarded to Mr. Peter Sello Mutau, also known as Paul Dikeledi, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to the liberation struggle. His selfless sacrifice, bravery, and thirst for freedom led to democracy at the ultimate cost of his life. Mr. Wilson Ngaiya, also known as Bogart Soze. The Order of Mendi for Bravery in Silver is awarded to Mr. Wilson Daliso Boy Ngaiya, also known as Bogart Soze, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to the fight for the liberation of this country. He courageously placed his life in constant danger, inspired by a solid conviction that one day South Africa will be free from oppressive apartheid rule. Mr. Joseph Nduli. The Order of Mendi for Bravery in Silver is awarded to Mr. Joseph Mpisi Nduli, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to the fight for the liberation of the people of South Africa. His steadfast belief in the equality of all citizens inspired him to fight fearlessly until democracy was realized. Major General Jackie Refilwe Sidibe. The Order of Mendi for Bravery in Silver is awarded to Major General Jackie Refilwe Sidibe for her excellent contribution to the struggle for freedom and her courage in joining Umkhonto weSizwe MK. She fought for the liberation of our people and selflessly sacrificed her time to ensure that all South Africans live as equals. Dr. Sizakele Siqashe. The Order of Mendi for Bravery in Silver is awarded to Dr. Sizakele Siqashe, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to the fight against the oppression of the people of South Africa. His bravery and courage of conviction saw him leave his home and loved ones into distant lands to fight for the freedom that is enjoyed today. Major General Peter Lisigo Chikare, also known as Peter Buroko. The Order of Mendi for Bravery in Silver is awarded to Major General Peter Lisigo Chikare, posthumous, for his selfless contribution to the struggle for the liberation of the people of South Africa. He gallantly joined the armed struggle with the conviction that no one deserved to be treated with indignity.
Die Kere di khomutena Hadi le pedi le hari le taru Nkaroma bo malume Kere hadi le pedi Huya huri le taru Karuma bo malume Kamoma ngwane akompulele kinelwa kipula mangwane mpulele kirina kinelwa kipula
Thank you very much. The band, good food for the soul. I think we are all encouraged to follow the footsteps of the Minister of Environmental Affairs to move a bit, just a bit. It won't do any harm. Thank you very much. The President, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, fellow South Africans, ladies and gentlemen, will now bestow the Order of Ikhamanga. Thank you.
Miss Lorica Rauch. The Order of Ikhamanga in bronze is awarded to Miss Lorica Rauch for her outstanding contribution to the field of music and raising awareness on political injustices through music. She bravely deployed her artistic talents to highlight the injustices and tyranny of apartheid rule. Dr. Thomas Hassani Chauke. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Dr. Thomas Hassani Chauke for his excellent contribution to the development and promotion of Xitsonga traditional music in the country. His prolific songwriting and performances have put Xitsonga music in the forefront. Ms. Sylvia Glaser. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is awarded to Ms. Sylvia Makoko Glaser for her excellent contribution to the field of dance and her transference of skills to young people from all racial backgrounds, fostering social cohesion through the difficult times of apartheid. Dr. Marguerite Poland.
Uyabizwa wena.
The Order of Ikamanga in silver is awarded to Dr. Marguerite Poland for her excellent contribution to the field of indigenous languages, literature, and anthropology. Her literary works are taught widely in South African schools. Dr. Benedict Wallet Vilakazi.
Ntate wa ka, ke sebeletsa dikgomo.
Ela banna ke sebeletsa. 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 Ela banna ke sebeletsa.
The Order of Ikamanga in gold is awarded to Dr. Benedict Wallet Vilakazi posthumous for his exceptional contribution to the field of literature in indigenous languages and the preservation of Zulu culture. Was one of the leading academics in his field. In the order of Mendi for bravery, one family had not arrived at that point, so we will now take this opportunity to call the family of Mr. Sam Ntuli.
Uyabizwa wena. Sabela. Uyabizwa.
The Order of Mendi for bravery in silver is awarded to Mr. Sam Ntuli posthumous for his excellent contribution to peace building during a particularly violent and delicate time in the history of the liberation struggle. He paid the ultimate price for his dedication to peace and freedom.
mona ki sebeletsa e mona ki sebeletsa e mona ki sebeletsa e mona ki sebeletsa e mona ki sebeletsa Ntata waka ki sebeletsa dikgomo ela banna ki sebeletsa 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 Temwelemwe inalena koya yona Temwelemwe inalena ko Temwelemwe inalena koya yona Temwelemwe inalena ko 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 Kana koye Alisiyo Unali mutu yanzora teke Unali mutu yantoboketa Kana koye Alisiyo Unali mutu yanzora teke Unali mutu yantoboketa Samana maitaliwe Samana maisitiwe Samana maitaliwe Samana maisitiwe Kana koye Alisiyo Unali mutu yanzora teke Unali mutu yantoboketa Kana koye Alisiyo Unali mutu yanzora teke Unali mutu yantoboketa Samana maitoliwe Samana maisitiwe Samana maitoliwe Samana maisitiwe Temwelemwe inalena koya yona Temwelemwe inalena ko Temwelemwe inalena koya yona Temwelemwe inalena ko 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 Temwelemwe inalena ko
Thank you, choir. Thank you so much. The President, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, will now bestow the Order of the Baobab.
Professor Rosina Mamukreti Pakeng. The Order of the Baobab in Silver is awarded to Professor Rosina Mamukreti Pakeng for her excellent contribution in the field of mathematics education and representing South Africa on the international stage through her outstanding research work. Professor Helen Rees. The Order of the Baobab in Silver is awarded to Professor Helen Rees for her excellent contribution to the field of medical sciences and research. Her work gives hope to communities who have been affected by the scourge of HIV and AIDS. Mrs. Marina Numpinti Maponya. The Order of the Baobab in Gold is awarded to Mrs. Marina Numpinti Maponya, posthumous, for her exceptional contribution to the field of entrepreneurship at a time when economic development for the majority was proscribed. Her selfless giving to the poor remains her legacy.
On that note, from Alex, I nearly said Deputy Minister Bapela, Warneda. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What we see here today is a display of humanity's best qualities. That's all what we're experiencing today here. We're experiencing and observing a good story to tell about our country and where we come from. At this point, the President, distinguished guests, fellow South Africans, will now bestow the Order of Luthuli. Thank you.
Mr. Suleiman Saloji. The Order of Luthuli in bronze is awarded to Mr. Suleiman Babla Saloji, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to the fight against apartheid. He paid the ultimate price for dedicating his life to fighting political injustices in apartheid South Africa. Mr. Brian Bishop. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to Mr. Brian Francis Bishop, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to the liberation struggle in fighting the tyranny of the oppressive apartheid state. He gave his life for the liberation of the people of South Africa. The Reverend Dr. Simon Qubule. The Order of Luthuli in silver is awarded to the Reverend Dr. Simon Qubule for his excellent contribution to the liberation struggle and to the field of education and religion. His inherent belief in equality prompted him to join the United Democratic Front and other mass organizations to provide prophetic witness in the fight against the evil and oppressive system of apartheid. Mr. Msizi Dube.
Uyabizwa wena.
The Order of Luthuli in Silver is awarded to Mr. Msizi Harrison Dube, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to the struggle for liberation and his persistent pursuit of justice and better living conditions for his community in particular and the people of South Africa in general. Mr. Mac Maharaj.
Hari bope, hari bope, hari bope.
Dipa, hari bope.
Hari bope, hari bope, hari bope.
Dipa, hari bope.
The Order of Luthuli in Silver is awarded to Mr. Sergeant Ranath Raghunanan Mac Maharaj for his excellent contribution to the struggle for freedom in South Africa. Inspired by the courage of his convictions, he bravely endured the fight against the racial autocracy of the apartheid regime over many years and helped lay the foundations for a non-racial democracy. Ms. Winnie Madikizela Mandela.
Uyabizwa wena.
The Order of Luthuli in Silver is awarded to Ms. Winnie Madikizela Mandela for her excellent contribution in the fight for the liberation of the people of South Africa. She bravely withstood constant harassment by the apartheid police, challenging their very brutality at every turn. Mrs. Mary Tipe. The Order of Luthuli in Silver is awarded to Mrs. Mary Tipe, posthumous, for her excellent contribution to the liberation struggle and the fight for social justice. Her bravery and bold stance against the brutality of the security branch remains legendary in the Chesterfield area in Durban. Ms. Amy Ridston Thornton.
Uyabizwa wena.
The Order of Luthuli in Silver is awarded to Ms. Amy Ridston Thornton for her excellent contribution and unflinching commitment to the struggle for the liberation and equality for all South Africans. Her bravery in the face of an oppressive regime is commendable. Mr. John Zikali.
Bagulumarile adibo petala dibo. Bagulumarile adibo petala dibo.
The Order of Luthuli in Silver is awarded to Mr. John Zikali, posthumous, for his excellent contribution to the fight for justice, challenging unjust labor laws through progressive unionism and the galvanization of workers. Mr. Cleopas Nsibande. The Order of Luthuli in Gold is awarded to Mr. Cleopas Matota Nsibande, posthumous, for his exceptional contribution to the fight for equality and democracy for all South Africans, especially the workers who had to deal with a myriad of indignities. He steadfastly challenged unjust labor laws through efficiently organizing and galvanizing workers to take a stand for their rights.
lomto participant, kanibambiseni, lomto participant, elelema kanibambiseni, lomto participant, kanibambiseni, lomto participant, elelema kanibambiseni, lomto participant. Kanibambiseni, lomto participant, elelema kanibambiseni, lomto participant, namuya tubula, lomto participant, elelema namuya tubula, lomto participant, namuya tubula, lomto participant, elelema namuya tubula, lomto participant, auletum shiniwa, 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 kanibambiseni, lomto participant, elelema kanibambiseni, lomto participant.
I won't delay you. Ngeke nginibambezele. Thank you, choir. We, distinguished guests, are now going to bestow the order of Mapungubze.
Mr. Zwelakhe Sisulu. The order of Mapungubze in gold is awarded to Mr. Zwelakhe Sisulu, posthumous, for his exceptional contribution to quality journalism and as a reporter exposing the cruelties of apartheid and encouraging unity among the people of different political persuasions to fight for liberation. He was a pioneer of broadcasting in the post-apartheid South Africa.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, the President, distinguished guests, fellow South Africans. We are now going to bestow the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo. Thank you.
Ambassador Nuruddin Jodi. The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in silver is awarded to Ambassador Nuruddin Jodi of Algeria for his steadfast support of the South African liberation movement during the hard times of oppression. He stood in firm solidarity with the stalwarts of the liberation struggle and sacrificed much to support the realization of democracy in South Africa. Maria Kint. The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in silver is awarded to Ms. Maria Petronella Adriana Kint of the Netherlands for her excellent contribution to the liberation movement and her courage to challenge policies that violated human rights. Her tireless commitment to the liberation struggle contributed to the democracy we enjoy today. Her Excellency President Michelle Bachelet. The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in gold is awarded to Her Excellency President Michelle Bachelet Gerria of Chile for exceptional contribution to the fight for democracy at the global stage. She is a friend of South Africa who has strengthened the fraternal bond between South Africa and Chile. A pioneering first woman to be president of Chile, she has championed the cause of women's rights at home and the world over.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our program today. We want first to express our heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the President, for all of you by gracing this very important ceremony today, the 2016 National Orders Awards. I would request all of us to join me in applauding both the South African Military Health Service and the South African Air Force choir for what they did to us today. Thank you. The force is both the force and also using very soft power, as we have experienced today. We will now allow the President, who's taking his leave, together with the Chancellor, but we also want to once more congratulate the recipients of the national awards, and may we applaud them. The President has invited all of us to join him for lunch. You'll find the way on your left, the adjacent marquee here on our left. But for now, we'll allow the entourage of the President, the Deputy President, the Chancellor of the awards, and the recipients to take leave first. Thank you very much.
Well, you've been watching a special broadcast here on SABC DSTV channel 404 of the official bestowing of the 2016 National Orders on distinguished South Africans and foreign nationals who've contributed immensely to the democracy that we now all enjoy as South Africans, and those who've really played a critical role in the upliftment of various communities. Really a distinguished, a celebratory day here at the Sefako Makgatho Presidential Guest House, where President Jacob Zuma is just about to leave the room at the moment with some of the recipients and the families of the recipients who have really said they felt honored to be honored with such distinguished honors by orders by President Jacob Zuma here today. So essentially we'll speak to some of the families and the recipients just a bit later on, but many of those, of course, honored here today in various spectrums across the spectrum, in music, in those who have, in the political sphere as well, those have contributed quite immensely to ensuring that South Africa enjoys the freedom that we now all enjoy, of course, as citizens of the country. Also in arts as well as in journalism as well. We saw there the late Zwelakhe Sisulu, a veteran journalist, also honored here today, as well as Hermanus Lewitz, who was also buried not so long ago, as well, also honored for his contribution to, you know, of course, that led to the Stewart report, where he exposed some of the brutalities in the ANC camps, and the exposures that, of course, that he brought to the fore also led to several executions that were scheduled to take place at these various ANC camps, not taking place because of the spotlight that he had put on these ANC camps. But many of those are honored here today. Of course, we saw as well the granddaughter and grandson of Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela, of course, accepting the order on her behalf. She's not feeling well. She has not been here today, but we understand that she's doing very well after undergoing some surgery as well. We also saw many as well in mathematics and in science as well being honored for their contribution as well. So across the board, of course, many encouraged also to continue with the legacy that many of these recipients have left behind, to continue to do good, to continue to fight for, while South Africa enjoys the democracy that it does, the fight still continues for many other issues regarding equality as well. So those that remain behind have been encouraged certainly to continue the fight of those who have been so dearly honored here today. So continue to watch the SABC programming here on SABC DSTV channel 404, but it's a wrap from us here at the Sefako Makgatho Presidential Guest House. Thank you very much for watching.